mentioned, we have a chilly start, not the coldest start for race day that it's ever been, but definitely below normal perhaps for what we are used to seeing on a race day. But maybe that will actually work to the runners' advantage today.
Well, the biggest advantage today compared to last year is, remember last year we were fighting that really strong wind. I mean, we had gusts up on the bridge deck into the 30s and 40s last year, if my memory serves correctly. So this morning, a totally different look. We're talking 10 to 15 mile per hour winds. It is chilly, Hannah, though, as you mentioned. I mean, we're talking right now, it's about 48 degrees, which a typical morning this time of year would be in the low to mid 50s.
It's a brisk start. So we want to go live right now to News 2's Riley Benson. He is in Mount Pleasant, just near where the start of that race was. So Riley, you just saw all those runners take off and we're watching them make their way up to the base of the bridge. Riley, how's it going out there?
I had to tell you, I dodged all the runners in that first round that came by us here a couple minutes ago, but a good morning start out here on Coleman Boulevard. We are again right at the start line of the Cooper River Bridge Run. That first wave has gone. We're waiting for the next waves to come. Now this is going to go in several corrals. We know that Rob Fowler, Grace, they're in Corral F, so we're going to be keeping an eye out for them. Mayor Haney had joined us earlier this morning and talked about how this had been smooth and how everything had been put in place. They're expecting everything to go off without a hiccup today, and it sounds like we're getting close to this second wave getting started here coming down. And I'm going to try to give you an opportunity to get a look at this as here comes the second wave of runners here down Coleman Boulevard. Again, a ton of runners. This is expected to bring over 30,000 people here on Coleman Boulevard as they make their way down Coleman Boulevard towards the Ravenel Bridge and eventually in downtown Charleston. I talked to a lot of people who say, you know, they prepare all year for this, and some who say they come out here cold and don't prepare at all. So a good look at some of these runners coming down. You can see them jumping across the median here by me. Just an exciting morning here in Mount Pleasant for all these runners who look forward to this event. It's such a big event every year, guys, back there, Hannah, Josh, and Sophia in studio.
Right in the middle of everything. Watch out, Riley, don't get run down. The second wave of runners making their way past him. You know, he was saying some people prepare all year for this. I just find it so interesting how people come from all over the world.
I know Carolyn earlier this morning was talking to a woman from Virginia who came down to Charleston just for the weekend to run this race. It's such a fun tradition here in the Low Country. It's been going on, guys, for 47 years. And I remember Carolyn mentioning the first year there were only just over 700 runners, and now we're looking at over 30,000 people coming to Charleston to run this race. It's amazing.
And of course, I think of the impact afterwards. You know, I'm not running the race today, but there's a lot going on in downtown Charleston as far as celebrations and gatherings. And it's a huge boost to our local economy. Businesses plan parties for it, sell tickets to things. I mean, it's a great boost. And
you have the Finish Festival that is in Marion Square. That takes place immediately following. I think the Charleston Running Club, they do a big annual breakfast right after this there at Marion Square. Plus, you have all of the downtown restaurants that are doing specials, not just today, but even through the weekend, as we have so many visitors in town on this chilly but sunny Saturday morning.
You know, looking at that shot right there, that's the elite runners we're back at. What do you think it feels like to be that man who's leading the charge there of some 30,000?
They are flying down the road. And they're trying to get $10,000 here, the winner, like we said.
I'm trying to see their bib number. I find it so interesting, too, the times. We have Mark Morgan, I think, at the end of the race, so he will let us know who wins and what their time is, and hopefully grab an interview with that runner as well, so we can just get some reaction.
Looks like they're right there at Houston Northcutt.
So they haven't made their way onto the bridge quite yet. They're still chugging along there. Riley was watching out between the waves, and we do have News 2's Carolyn Murray. She's actually stationed on the bridge, so right now she has no runners behind her, but she will be there as they make their way up. So Carolyn, a chilly start, but you're out there, you're ready to cheer those runners on as they make their way to you.
I tell you, Hannah and Josh and who else is on the desk? Sophia, it's cold out here. Just a few feet from where you guys are at our very warm News 2 studio. It is chilly up on the bridge. It's a little breezy, as Josh told us earlier. Not quite as windy as it was last year, but it probably will be a challenge. I had a chance to see the wheelchair athletes going up just a few minutes ago, and they looked as if it was a challenge for them already. Of course, the temperatures are a factor when it comes to running. running. Man, what an amazing event this is every year, and I've had the privilege of being a part of it for 27 years as a runner, but this year I get to give high fives and hellos and cheer on the crowd of some 30,000 athletes who will cross this bridge, making that 6.2 distance from the town of Mount Pleasant all the way to downtown Charleston. I can't wait to see that first wave of runners. We know that traditionally the Kenyans have led the pack, but we'll see. Hey, it's anyone's race, as it is always. But again, as you can see, the bridge is clear right now. I anticipate that the first group of runners will be coming. I do see some blue lights, so I'm going to step out of the way. Perhaps the first group is coming right now, and we will see who is leading the pack. We have a group of police officers probably making sure that the way is clear right now for the top runners in the pack coming onto the bridge right now. We know that it doesn't take them very long. Many of them having pace of about 6 to 7 minute miles. Not sure if that's going to be the case today, of course, because of the chilly weather and of course because of the wind. But again, we can see that a group of police officers, motorcyclists coming onto the bridge right now, signaling the start of the 47th annual Cooper River Bridge Run. We are just so excited about all the athletes who are going to make their way from the town of Mount Pleasant to the city of Charleston. And yes, that is them. We are seeing the first wave of runners. These are the elite athletes who are coming across the Ravenel Bridge right now. Really still very tight in this pack. This is how it always starts out. And of course, once they get into downtown Charleston, that's about 4 miles into this race when things will start to spread out. But you are seeing the first wave of runners making their way across the Ravenel Bridge right now. Very strong, very tight, going across that bridge. Get over it, guys. Well done. Very impressive, very impressive. So again, I think I heard Hannah and Josh say that the winner of this race takes home a prize of about $10,000. One of the great things about this race is that these athletes stay in the homes of locals. They come, they spend time, they enjoy the festival, they take pictures with everyone, they encourage other athletes as well. That is one of the great things about this event, is that it is a community event. So I'm not sure if you guys are asking a question right now.
Yeah, I mean, Carolyn, I would love to know.
I thought I heard a question coming in. But again, the race has started. We, of course, are going to bring you coverage throughout the day as these athletes, 30,000 strong, work to get over it. Sending it back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Carolyn. You know, she's an amazing athlete, and she has run that race so many times. So I love hearing her perspective because she knows what it's like.
And the part where she's standing right now is the uphill incline. And guys, I've run this race before. That is a brutal part of the race. Right. I mean, you are just huffing and puffing for someone like me who, is not an elite athlete. You are just trying your best to get over that part, because after that, it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, you make it into downtown Charleston, the finish line in sight. All right, we have a very special show for you planned. We will be bringing you live coverage for the next hour plus, so don't go away. You're watching News 2 Today.